Back then, we were all cheering for Throttle from Belarus to beat this one. I was really surprised that he managed to get to the third block of the map, and another surprise was that it was possible to fail that block. At that time, beating Fu Xtreme didn't even cross my mind. After a year from Throttle's attempts, I started to focus on unbeaten maps, namely QSK Azure 2. Success on the map we all considered impossible since its release, and my hard map skill came back too. One day I played Fu Xtreme on a public server and I was stunned by my consistency, finishing in 3 to 3 times. Then I decided to record the hand show, where I managed to get 3:05, the best confirmable checkpoint time. People's reactions pleased me, but it was Pugmaker who convinced me that I should give it a try without checkpoints. So I decided to actually try it. At first, it was a big fail at the very beginning of the first block, and if Pugmaker hadn't encouraged me the way he had, I would have stopped immediately. As I was becoming better, hope came in the form of failed success. I managed to fail the very last jump of the first block. Although it was a huge fail, it kept me in, and at the time, I decided that I have to get at least as far as Throttle got. Few play hours passed and I managed unbelievably. I didn't just get to the jump Throttle failed. I managed to get the first tries on the 236 bunny hop long jump, what is the final gate to success. This was the origin of madness that kicked in for the upcoming weeks and another tens of hours of trying. From this point, I analyzed every single fail, and as a result, I perfected my technique to get the best success rate I could have. The map was precisely made. It cost me 100% of focus not to fail even the simple jumps. Because of that, I limited my audience just to Pugmaker. Other spectators simply distracted my focus, which resulted in rage quitting. My apologies goes out to everyone who I refused. However, there was an actual noteworthy moment with approximately 8 spectators in line. I managed to get to the second block more than 6 times, and once I did it even twice in a row. Unfortunately, I made it to the third block just twice, and the same number of attempts on 236 bunny hop. When I finally landed the 236 bunny hop, I was so excited that I don't even remember the moment. All I knew was I had to jump the next jump immediately, and this strategy worked well. Right after pressing the finish button, I had to call Pugmaker to share the excitement. Support of whole Creed's community really made me stoked, and I hope this record will manage to boost Counter-Strike jumping even in the difficult times we are experiencing now.
I remember when Shooting Star played this map for the very first time, and he told me something like, "This is lunatic. This map is impossible to finish without checkpoints. I don't understand why they accepted it." And actually, he was right for many years. About a year ago, my friend Throttle decided to give it a shoot and tried to prove that anything is possible. And he was very close to beating this monster. I was spectating him at the time. It was a great privilege to be a part of writing history on Throttle's LAN server. When he did the first block part, we both were stunned. He had to take a 5-minute break before he started the second block. Some minutes later, but also very close to a deadly fail, he did the second block too. It was absolutely fascinating. But then after a few tries on the final block, a tragedy happened. He failed. And after that fail, Throttle decided to give up. Admins even decided to remove this map from the map list because no one was able to record it. No one until now. Some weeks ago, I saw Shooting Star playing Fu Xtreme, and I told him, "I believe you are the one who can beat this map," and in my opinion, he thought the same. We both knew there is hope. And if there is hope, there is also a chance. So he started learning every single jump basically from scratch. He was analyzing every single fail until he figured out the problem. Imagine how stressful and demotivating it is if you fail over and over again and finish button is so far away. I was supporting him as much as I could, and I think it was important for him. And eventually he made the first block, the second, but the third, oh man, it was unbelievable. It took him 47, that's right, 47 tries on the final 236 B-hop before he finally landed it. Every time he was up there praying for a good pre-strafe, he called me and we talked on the phone about it. It was torture for the both of us, but then impossible became a reality. Remember this date, November 19th, 2017. It is a milestone in Creed's history. And the man behind this miracle is the one and only Shooting Star. Congratulations, my friend. This map was originally called Foo Fast Turn. It had only the start and stop buttons facing each other, and the task was to press the start button, turn fast, and press the stop button. I submitted the map on Cozy Climbing, and it was denied because it had no jumps. This made me angry, so I told myself, you want jumps? I'll give you jumps. The hardest jumps I can make. That's what motivated me to make the hardest map I could. My jumping skills were pretty bad back then, so I tweaked the jumps until I could barely pass them, some even with a scout. It's nice to see that someone finally beat it after so many years.
I wouldn't hold my breath if I was you, 'cause I'll forget but I'll never forgive you. Don't you know, true friends stab you in the front. It's funny how things work out, such a bitter irony, like a kick right to the teeth. It fell apart right from the start, but I couldn't even see the forest for the tree. I'm afraid you asked for this. You go alone now, with all our spine. You made your bed when you worried about mine. I'll forget, but I'll never forgive you. Don't you know, true friends stab you in the front.